Didn't look like you.
Alright guys, so today we're just gonna talk about primarily just the senior class trip and the other things is just graduation stuff, so we don't need to talk about it with you guys because you guys aren't seniors. So what's that?
Do we have to be there?
Yeah, let's talk about that too. So just to recap, we did a DC field trip yesterday? No,
Monday.
2 days ago on Monday.
2 days ago.
Time flies. But yeah, so we had a great time. It was a lot of fun. We just kind of hung out in DC and went on a tour with Mr. Beal, and it was a lot of fun.
There was that part where we jumped the White House fence, but we won't talk about that.
Yeah, that was pretty good. So, so we have the field day coming up, May 4th, was it?
Yep.
Field day, expo, and picnic. Yep.
Yep. So I'm thinking of the senior class trip. I'm not able to do it on the first week of May as we were hoping because I've got calculus class that week. I'm trying to figure out because I've got my finals for calculus that week, so I can't do it that week. So we're probably not going to be able to do it unless we have enough people to go that week. Right now we've got like 1 or 2 people signed up, I think, for that besides me. I think it's just conference, right?
Right.
So
Prudence, I think you were slightly interested, right?
Are you even available 6th to 10th?
Yeah.
You could do that? Okay. So I know your birthday's like around that sometime as well, so I didn't know if you wanted to.
Yeah, I think it was
Do that
either
for
that one or the one after that. I don't remember.
Yeah, I think you originally did the last option, which was like the 15th or the last,
Okay.
that around that time frame, 15th or 20th or whatever. So, where was I going with that?
Do May 1st.
What's that?
You can't do May 1st.
Yeah, I can't do the May 6th through 10 date. So that's we had 2 options, were the 6th through 10th or the 15th around that. I forget what the exact day was, but so we're probably just not going to do the Wilds trip this year. That's probably what we're going to do. We're going to do some more talking about that later, I guess.
Yeah. So I don't know. Did you get a chance to look at the potential other option in June?
I did. Yes. So there is the other option is doing the summer team camp. The Wilds is a summer team camp in June, but it's a little bit more expensive. It's like $360 a person, and so you have to you've got to have a good enough group. And I don't know. Does the student council have enough funds to cover that? Because we only have like $600. So
no, probably. I mean,
it'd be more.
Here's the thought on that. Jeremiah had asked whether or not they do the senior class trip because the Wilds has a specific event called the senior class trip that they do particularly for juniors and seniors. They only do that specific event through May. So that's why, basically at this point we have the one option really available for the senior class, and that's not seeming to work for people.
Yeah.
But they have this teen camp in June, which is open, interestingly enough, to basically the same age as our student council, from 7th grade to high school graduates. So that's the one big selling point for it, is that it is open to basically the whole student council. It is a little more expensive. Obviously, I think the focus will be a little bit different, but it is inclusive for graduates. So we're not, it's not something that graduates need to feel awkward about going on.
Yeah.
So that's potentially on the table. The other benefit is that would give you a little extra time if you still wanted to try to pull together one last fundraiser. You could raise a few more funds to help cover the cost of doing something like that.
Yeah.
So.
And that's open to 7th graders through 12th graders. So. So basically everyone in the student council falls in that category. So, did you want to vote about that, or did you want to put that out there and send out a sign up later? Like I don't even know.
So it sounds like at this point, Prudence, you're still potentially open for the first week, or I'm sorry, the second week. What is it, 6th through the?
It's the 6th through 10th. Yeah,
6th through 10th.
Yeah.
I guess there's maybe some seniors watching. So I guess the question is if there are still any other seniors who are open to that particular week. probably need to find that out, and if
Mhm.
not, then I don't think you're gonna probably do it, right?
Yeah, probably not. So the other options, if we don't do
right.
wilds,
Yeah.
we could either
Go for
do
that.
we could do a different trip. We could go to like we've got some other camps around the area. We've got one in Hampstead, I think it's called River Valley Ranch. We're actually doing a half marathon there in April, but we could also just not do a class trip. We could just do like a hike on the same day as field day. Maybe I don't know if it's do like after field day event.
Field day is probably not the best day, so I'm
Okay.
trying to keep people here, but.
I wasn't sure if like after the event, like in the
Well,
afternoon, in the
that's
evening.
that's
I don't know.
a thought. The other thing is, in this, we might talk about this a little bit later in terms of the senior class, but you do have rehearsal and rehearsal dinner, all those things. So if you wanted to do something like you did last year,
Mhm.
where the student council hosted a hike
Yeah.
for everybody, or that could just be seniors doing that. That's another thought to throw out there. Beachmont is also another place that has been utilized, and they have day stuff. They have day camps, or I think you can do. I've never been there. I know we've worked with them with field days before, or trips like gone and done stuff. I think they have a high ropes course and that kind of thing.
Yes. Okay. That's awesome.
So there are other options, right, for something like that, and probably the thing you're balancing too is we just did a student council field trip this last Monday, and you kind of probably need to feel out how many seniors are interested in doing something. If they're not doing the wilds, you might get more people to do something other than the wilds as far as that goes. So.
Yeah. Okay. So that's pretty much all I had. Was that everything, or was there anything else?
Well, the yearbook is the other big thing.
Oh. Yeah. Yearbook. So what is this? Who's in charge of this?
There's a name, like.
Does someone want to get up and talk so that whoever's watching the video? We nominate Chastity, the treasurer.
So basically, we're thinking about changing the yearbook name because this year the yearbook's more focused on the student council. So in the past, I think this is how you say it, mishpacha. That's the Hebrew word for family. So we're changing it to a Hebrew word for student, or prospectively. You have to agree. But so these are our different. Yes, we have 4 different names we're thinking of. Mr. Cox helped us look them up and the definitions of them and all. So there's Ben Shema, student who listens and obeys. Ben Chakam, I think that's how you say it. I don't know if I'm saying this right. Wise child. Benjamin, child in my right hand. And Yellen, student under wise instruction. So do you guys have a preference as to which one?
And we're just so everybody's in the loop. Were you guys were all of you partial or part of the yearbook discussion?
Yeah, everyone
Except for Jeremiah,
Yeah.
but Jeremiah's graduating this year, so they're gonna put in whatever they want about him.
I don't really care.
It will include you. So,
Oh, maybe I should.
so
Yeah.
you should have an opinion probably. Yeah. So have discussion. Have discussion.
I like the first one. It sounds the coolest. Ben Shema. Ben Shema.
And it's actually student who hears, which is like, it means listen and obey. So,
Oh, okay.
so.
Ben Shackham. The wise childs. The wise kids. I don't know.
I'm pretty sure that other one is yelled at. I think that's what that is. Yelled at. The student under wise instruction is the one who's yelled at. Mr. Cox and I are doing to yelling at you.
Okay.
All right. So it sounds like you need to put it in a vote then.
Okay. So for the first one, who's for the first one?
So we got everyone except Kirsten and
Well,
Chelsea.
am I allowed to vote? Yeah, you're allowed to
Of
vote.
course, you're allowed to vote. It's a student council book. So.
So
I
everyone-
like the first one too. So I
We've
guess-
got 100% vote on the first one.
All right. Ben Shema.
Yeah. And then just FYI for these live stream people or YouTube people, we're going to price the book at around $20, and the original price is like $18. But this is a 20-page book, and then between 20 and 30 pages, and then we're going to get it'll probably be 20, but yeah, and then we're going to sell it at $20, and each person is paying for it on their own, even though you put the effort into the book, you still have to buy it. So yeah, I think that's it.
Okay. Thank you. So yeah, we have the yearbook thing now. You guys are just gonna put that on the front cover when you make the book? Okay.
With the student council verse.
Okay. So is that everything?
So one last question, you guys had discussion during mid-year's meeting about any possibility. You kicked around some ideas for one last fundraiser potentially. Anybody interested in trying to take up a banner to do something at the field day?
We could have a food booth. What are you have a food booth.
Okay, so I will tell you right now that we are covering meat and drinks. So we'll probably, because we're basically catering the food in terms. What I mean, no, cater probably too strong.
Tip jar, like tips.
So we're bringing probably in fried chicken, and then we're providing drinks. So if you wanted to do something, I would say, if you wanted to go the food route, probably something like ice. You talked about the ice cream route, probably desserty.
Hey, we could do like ice packs, like these little popsicles.
And I think we probably, if you want to avoid having to get a food handler license,
Yes.
you probably have to have everything has to be prepackaged. So because I'm assuming the way things are, you can't probably put a snow cone together without something like that.
Yeah.
So that was one idea. Just recapping from what I remember from mid-year's conference, someone had also suggested potentially doing a raffle, that's a pretty low-key deal where you come up with something that people have to buy a raffle ticket for and then do a drawing for it, and all your proceeds will go to the student council. Obviously,
What?
well, that would be up for you guys to decide, but I mean,
It's so possible.
okay, here's something I was thinking about this morning. We all went to the Museum of the Bible on Monday, so I was thinking you could raffle off a ticket to the Museum of the Bible, or whatever, and something like that. I mean, something that's going to draw enough interest. So you could, and that would require virtually. Obviously, you'd have to pay for the thing, so you try to do something like that. And I don't know, maybe there's a way we can work with something like, I know in the past, I think classes have tried to see if anybody's willing to donate something. Either that or, some other particular item. Gift cards are always nice. Chick-fil-A! The state or the official sponsor of the WCFS Student Council. Kirsten.
My mom crochets, so she could probably make something and raffle it off, like blanket or a cardigan.
Right, you could even do multiple things. So you got that. I'm trying to remember, other people have suggested a talent show. People have suggested, I can't remember, there was some discussion about car washes. Obviously, you're probably not going to do a car wash here.
I don't feel like doing that. Yeah, but those are great ideas.
So those are two probably the most likely. Would be either some sort of dessert-ish, snackish type thing, or a raffle.
Probably do both.
I personally still love the dunk tank idea. One day I'm going to get the dunk tank here, and Mr. Cox and I will be dunked.
Hey, we should do that.
I know. I would totally do it, but I don't think we can. I don't think we're gonna do it this year. Huh?
How do you get one of those though?
I don't know. I don't know how it works.
You go to party.
You should research it.
Depends on how warm the day is, but.
Well, the colder it is.
So, throw that back at you. Do you guys? It sounds like you have at least enough interest from amongst the student council members to try to get something going. Mr. President, for what I'm seeing from you, you're probably swamped, so you're not necessarily going to be. Whoever wants to take this up has to take it up. Mr. President is not going to be able to do it. So
Exactly. Yes.
am I
Very
reading?
true
Am I reading you right?
Yes. Very.
I know. I've got it. Here's a raffle idea for you guys. A plane ride.
Oh.
Oh.
I could do a plane ride. Yes.
And you and Dad maybe. I mean, I don't know exactly how that
Yeah.
works, but.
Wing at your own risk.
But right? I mean, so how does that work, Jeremiah? As far as what you can do, the difference between charging and then taking people up for.
Yeah, I could either do it for free or for half the cost, pretty much.
Okay, so that would work probably fine, right? Because you're not getting paid for it.
Yep.
So that could be something if you wanted to do a raffle. Or who said both? Someone said maybe doing both. Was that you, Kirsten?
Both of what?
Doing both a raffle and a
dessert.
or
Just
snack
have
shack
like
or whatever.
brownies and like.
We could just go to Sam's Club and buy one of those boxes of the prepackaged ice cream cones and
Yeah.
sodas.
And like candy.
So and the other thought I don't know if it's going to happen, but you guys have, so this building down here in the pavilion, there is actually a little area where you could even set up.
Mm-hmm.
You have to clean it up a bit. I know it's a big mess. I think the roof is actually falling in, so it might even be bigger than that. So who knows? Maybe that's going to happen, but you could at least potentially do it in the pavilion.
Okay.
Yep.
Anyone else? Any ideas?
You want to take a vote? You want to take a vote or you want to do
Take a
research?
vote. Take a vote on what? On the.
Go ahead and do those two ideas.
So for the duck cake, how would we like get money that way?
Well, people would have to pay, so they pay $2 for 3 softballs.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah. Cool.
And we'd have to finagle your grandpa into, not your grandpa, he's not your grandpa, Kirsten.
Thank you.
Not my grandpa either. Mr.
It
Cox.
does mean to the family.
Yeah, I think you can look into it, Chastity. My thought is that the two things are, I don't know again if there's some weird, if you're gonna rent it from somebody, if you have to, where you can do it and how you can do it. And
Right.
probably the biggest thing that would be prohibitive for you guys is I imagine it probably is gonna cost.
Yeah, it's around 150 is what I'm saying.
Yeah, so that's probably more than, but I think it's something to keep in mind.
Yeah.
Because I've always, ever since I was a kid, I thought those were the greatest things in the world. And for 2 reasons. One, I just love to see, like, local celebrities, like, just kind of be able to be vulnerable and, kind of be down there with the people, for lack of a better word.
Yeah.
And then it's just, who doesn't want to send a person into water? I mean,
Yeah.
anyway, but probably
So-
not this year.
Yeah. So we could take a vote on doing. We'll just vote on doing both. The raffle and the ice cream. Oh yeah. So who wants to do that?
All in favor of the raffle, raise your hand.
Does that work?
All right.
The raffles too, you said, right?
Yeah. And all in favor of doing the ice cream / whatever refreshment snack
Sweets.
picnic sweets.
Yeah.
Just get like,
All in favor, raise your hand.
Who's gonna be in charge of like doing it, like getting everything together?
Okay, so somebody nominate a leader here.
Chastity.
Oh, Chastity has been
Yeah, she is
nominated.
our-
Chastity is nominated.
Sophomore.
Hey, you're a student council member.
True.
You're a student officer.
Oh, okay.
All right, so
Me
so
and
Chastity has been nominated. All in favor of Chastity
Wait,
leading
what am I
the
doing though?
leading the
Both.
committee on fundraisers for the Expo Field Day.
Okay.
yeah, so you're
Say-
doing like the raffle.
say yes.
and the
I'm just gonna set up the raffle and
Okay, well-
find the ice cream.
Hold on. Chastity, you talk.
I'm really short on time, honestly. I have a crazy school year and really, I don't have a lot of time.
Okay, so in other words, you're willing to help do some research,
I'm willing to help, but
but you
I don't
can't
have
do it
the
on
time.
your own.
Yeah.
You do it on your
I
own.
don't have the time to head it.
I have news for you. I have news for you guys.
Yeah.
If you don't have a lot of time now, you're not gonna have a lot of time later. You'll never have that much time. So just keep it in mind. You just prioritize and you commit what you can. Okay?
I've got time for it.
And let me tell you, you guys have way more time than I do.
True.
I'm just gonna throw that out there. I know you feel like you're really pressed, but you do have more time probably than you think.
Mm-hmm.
Curtis, can you do
Okay, so just hold on. Let's we can probably work this out. I have a strong incentive to want you guys to succeed, and I don't want you giving up just because you all are busy. Because I'm sorry, guys, you will always be busy. There will never be a time when you're not busy. You can make the effort to make this happen. You just got to divide and conquer. All right. So you've already decided you're going to do a raffle, and you've already decided you're going to do the thing. So all you have to do now is take a few minutes to figure out, okay, what we need to do to make that happen. All right. So let's talk about the raffle. What do you need for the raffle?
A prize.
Okay. You've already talked about prizes. Kirsten, so you're going to ask your mom about whether or not she can enter something to raffle off. Jeremiah, you want to talk with your dad about, or I don't know, who do you need to talk to about doing an airline, whatever. Yeah, whatever you do out in the sky. If you guys, Prudence, what?
I was saying yes to serve complimentary honey roasted peanuts with this plain.
Honey roasted peanuts. Okay, Prudence is going to provide honey roasted peanuts for that. Okay, we also talked about something like the ticket for the Museum of the Bible. Does somebody want to look into that? Chastity, could you look into that and see if that's a possibility? Okay, so Chastity's going to do that. Anybody else have any ideas as far as things to raffle? Can we do a VIP meeting with Representative Cox? And milk all our connections as much as we can. Okay. Maybe not. Maybe not. Really not. Oh, gift card. We talked about a gift card. What do you guys think about that?
Yeah.
I could probably get a gift card from Chick-fil-A.
Okay, Jeremiah is going to look into the Chick-fil-A gift card. Okay, so you got 4 things, right? Is that right?
Yeah.
That's probably good.
No, we could actually have that many people here. We can actually get high.
We have opened this up to beyond the school.
Okay.
So we are trying to promote it as best as we can. We just sent out information about it this week. I'm going to really try to encourage Susie Mrs. Davis. See if she can get some folks here. You guys have inroads that way. Encourage people to come. We'll do our best.
Okay.
I will do my best to. I think I can get Machi to maybe send something out about it since they're not doing their book fair. See if they can maybe send people our direction.
Yeah.
So we'll do our best. At this point, the most it's going to cost you is the Chick-fil-A gift card, and potentially Museum of the Bible deal. But I can throw in. I think we have some books we can probably donate. Which I haven't been over there. It's probably been a run on them. They're probably all gone.
I saw some maple pies.
Good. All right. So those are doable. People got what they're doing. Oh, and then you'll need to buy the raffle tickets. And I think those are not portable. You could probably get those you guys know the Oriental Trading Company.
Yeah.
Probably get them really cheap.
And what about like the thing? Does it have to be something special?
The what?
The thing that we put them in.
Oh.
Get us one.
Just grab a
Nope. I'm sure we've got something. You got something.
cheese puffs. Cheese puffs.
Okay. And what about? All right. Talk about the desserts.
Okay, so we should do little like popsicles.
I think we should go to Sam's Club and just pick something. Do we want to do 2 things or 1 thing, 3 things?
We could also just get like little bags of candy.
Yeah, like
Beans.
no, not
I was thinking Skittles or M&M's.
Skittles. Yes.
wants to, is anybody volunteering to go ahead and get those?
Costco, they have those big bags instead of tiny little bags.
Where?
Costco.
Okay,
So
so
they
you
have-
have access, to Costco, you guys have access to Sam's Club.
Yeah, I guess so.
So who's volunteering?
Credits your volunteer fund.
There's no money.
Oh.
Well, it's not gonna be your money, the student council's paying for
Yeah.
this, so. You will be
I don't go
refunded.
to Costco usually. We usually go to Sam's. So.
You go to
And
something?
their bags of candy are like $25.
Yeah, so Costco.
Alright, well maybe research it out, see what's your cheapest option is.
Alrighty.
I will throw out there that people are bringing, it's a potluck as well, so people are bringing a side dish, so it's possible
Oh.
that people will bring some kind of dessert, so, but we don't know what's
You
gonna
can start
show up.
saying like sweet treats will be like for sale.
Yeah,
so
maybe we should.
We can include that.
We'll just not buy everything until we know how many people are coming.
Yeah,
Or do people have to RSVP for it?
yes, people are supposed to RSVP for the picnic,
Oh,
so between the picnic and the expo, we'll have at least a pretty good idea of how many people are gonna be here.
okay. Alright.
And just to tell you, I mean, I have already had, I don't know for sure if they're coming because they have one other thing coming up, but I just tell you the level of interest, like the Valdezes who live on the Eastern Shore, they really want to be here. Like they were planning on taking the whole weekend to be
Okay.
here.
Oh.
And the only reason why they're bulking is because Anna,
Yeah,
she's doing her nurse pinning is Friday night.
Mm,
So,
nice.
but anyway, I'm just telling you, so people from the Eastern Shore are seriously considering coming.
Okay.
Prudence, I think you said your family's really hoping to be here, right?
Yeah.
So, anyway, alright, so maybe just figure it out and we'll play it by ear, but I think it sounds like you guys got at least enough
Yeah.
ability. I'll tell you what, I'll throw this out there, we don't live very far from Costco. If you really need something picked up, I know Mrs. Fischer would be happy to pick something up for you if you need it. So.
Okay. Alright, sounds good.
And I will start promoting that into the, I've already, like I said, we've done one kind of big blitz out about the day so far.
Yes.
I mean, we've actually done a few, but as far as the internet, and then I will include these details and let people know there'll be a thing going on. So is your mom gonna net like an Afghan?
She might just crochet a really fancy blanket. So
I
yes.
think that's what I said, isn't it? I'm sorry, I said, that's probably you crochet an Afghan, probably, right? Do you know what an Afghan is? Okay, yeah, that's
The one
more
I'm thinking about
crochet.
is like a bunch of little flowers that are stuck
No,
together.
I'm wondering, are people actually going to want to get a nice big warm blanket right at the beginning of the summer? Like,
Yeah, that's what I was just.
is that actually
If they know it's from, what is it, Hooked On Creations?
creation?
I took her business, basically.
You stole it from her?
I stole it. No, she had a business, but no one was actually buying things for the price that she was selling them. So she gave me the Gmail, or the email, so I haven't done it. That's why it's weird.
Okay.
Alright, well, you can talk to her about that, and we'll figure out the plane rides idea, and then, Chelsea, you going to research about the Museum of the Bible tickets? Okay, and then, so the other big thing we need to talk about was the field trip, or I mean, not the field trip, the class trip idea, going to, like, a different place in the wild. We're going to talk about more about that?
Well, it sounds like probably before you make a final decision on that, you need to touch base directly with the remaining seniors
Okay, I'll
who
do
had
that.
voiced interest in going,
Okay,
and then probably put a feeler out to the rest of the seniors about if they are interested in doing something else as a senior class.
okay, alright.
And once you've got that, so you can ask the question now, the people here in this room, if there was another student council day, would you be interested in participating?
Mm-hmm, yeah.
In spite of your very busy schedules. I know, I'm giving you guys a hard time.
Okay. So yeah, let's I'll send out an email to.
And those listening, do the same. you know, if you're a senior listening, you need to get in touch with Jeremiah about these things. So.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So is that everything we need to talk about? Is there anything
I
else?
have one last item. If you're
Okay.
done,
Yep, I'm done.
you're done.
Yes,
All right.
sir.
All right. We can, if you want to sit down. All right. All right. So I'm taking this opportunity because I have a podium and I'm going to take it. No, because this is the last workshop. So the last workshop. So probably, the exception of field day, which I hope everybody is coming to, and expo. We'll see some of you at graduation. But this is kind of one of the last opportunities to be together before Roxbury in fall. So anyway, so mainly I'm just taking it as an opportunity to have one last conversation with you guys. I haven't done this in a while. I asked the elementary kids this morning a question, and I'm going to ask you guys the same question because I just want you to think about it, and you don't have to give me an answer, but I want you to think about it. So I asked the elementary kids this morning, I said, what is one thing that you want to do before you die? And of course they all looked at me kind of like, why are we talking about that, Mr. Fischer? Somebody told me I want to drive a lawnmower off a cliff and then fall on a horse, and then it was all this kind of really dramatic thing. It was like, but it's interesting, one of the things that student said was, well, because I asked him, I said, well, pick something, and try to be thoughtful about it, but it didn't have to be a big thing. It could be a big thing, could be a little thing. And he said something interesting. He said, well, what does it matter? You're going to die anyway. Okay, now, granted, this kid is young, but that was a very profound statement. What does it matter? I'm going to die anyway. Now, I try to help readjust his thinking to say, okay, well, let's think about a basketball game. Right now, March Madness is going on, if anybody cares about March Madness, but I like college basketball, and we follow that as a family. But you have 40 minutes, 20-minute halves. You have 40 minutes to play a game. You don't just walk onto the court and say, oh gosh, I only got 40 minutes, it's going to be over. So why try? I think you got it, right? No, you go on the court, what do? Prudence, you play basketball, what do? You go out and try to do what? Try to score. And do you say, oh man, I'm going to miss every shot, I'm not even going to try? Is that what you say? No, you're not going to, you surely aren't going to win that way. So my question to each one of you is this. Now some of you are thinking more about what you want to do. And Jeremiah, obviously you're a senior, and other seniors are thinking about this more. Some of you are not. You're just getting into high school. Some of you are in high school. And some of you, and I mean, it's really, my hat's off to you guys. By and large, I think the caliber of the students that I work with at WCFS, you guys are very thoughtful about what's going on. Like you're engaged, you obviously have busy schedules, you have things that you're doing, so I know you're thinking, but here's my reason I'm asking that question is for this reason. If you're not asking those kind of questions now, then you won't be taking proactive steps to get to where you want to be. Do you see what I mean? And I'm not just saying, and this is what I think happens so many times, don't think about just strictly academics. That is really important, but that isn't all there is to life. Now, that's coming from your administrator, and obviously you know I care about your academics a lot, and I'm helping you with that. But I want you, as you're thinking about those things, what are the things that I want to accomplish before I die? And when you ask that question, it helps you think about what's important, what's a priority to me, okay? And it's perfectly fine if your answer is, I want to graduate from high school. That's what Jeremiah's thinking about. And that's absolutely what's good. That's what you're focusing on. Let me tell you, though, if that's the only thing, after Jeremiah graduates from high school, okay, I did that, it's not a question that you just ask once. A lot of people focus on that for young people. Like, okay, what do you want to do when you grow up? And then you grow up. And then you're still asking, what do I want to do? That's what I'm saying. What I want to do? You know, I'm 31 and I'm still figuring out what I want to do. Here's one of my ambitions. You want to hear one of my ambitions? I want to read every book in my house. And some of you are like, haven't you done that already? But serious, I want to read every book in my house because there's so many books I want to read. And I look at them every day. I'm like, man, I want to read that book. And the problem is I get overwhelmed by how many books there are, and I just get discouraged, and I'm working through my one book, and like, I'll never do it. But you do it one at a time. So the other reason I ask that question is because one of the biggest things that can happen for a young person is you can lose your motivation. And you can be overwhelmed. And you can be apathetic. But if you simply keep asking that question, okay, and I, you know, and I might be sounding somewhat unspiritual by just saying, you know, what are your dreams? And you get that from the world a lot. But on the one hand, there's not necessarily anything wrong with that. Because God has designed you to be creative, to be thoughtful, to have motivation. What you have to do is say, okay, think about what do I want to do, big or small. Chastity and Jeremiah, you guys are running, what is it, half marathon? And how many, is anybody else doing it too, or just you two? So you guys want to run a half marathon. What are you doing? Are you just going to like wait till that day shows up and then like, okay, we're going to go run the half marathon now? Probably not. What are you doing? Training. Okay, see, I told you I wasn't going to ask you specifically. Well, I'm going to do it anyway. I'm sorry, I lied. But just for, so Mercy, what's one thing you want to do before you die?
I guess I want to have kids.
Okay, that is great. So here's my question to you, Mercy. Do you think in preparation for being a mom, you're just going to sit around and say, oh gosh, one day I'm going to have kids and it's going to be an easy peasy, you know, whatever? No, right? That's not what you're doing. In order to make that happen, what has to happen? I mean, there's a lot of things that have to happen, but obviously you're going to get married and all that. But practically being, you're learning to do what?
Take care of kids.
Right. You can't just sit around and say, oh, I'd love to have kids one day. And then do absolutely nothing to take any steps to doing that. See what I'm saying? Kirsten, what do you want to do? Okay, no, can't give me that answer. I'm sorry, that's not an answer. You're kidding. That's what someone else said in the elementary class. That's so awesome. I love it. Skydive. Okay, here's my question. You want to skydive. That's great. What are you going to do so you can skydive? You got to figure that out.
Parachute.
There you, okay, probably beyond that. But I'm not going to laugh at your desire to skydive because there's nothing wrong with that. That's a fun goal. But even something like skydiving, you still have to figure out how you're going to get there.
Probably fly a plane.
Yeah, probably. Maybe Jeremiah can help you with that. Are you leaving?
What?
Are you leaving?
Yeah, I have to leave now because we have to go pick my brother at.
Okay, good. I'm glad we got your question. Prudence, what do you want to do? You married, have kids? Okay. Same thing. Bye, Kirsten. Thank you. Same thing as Mercy. You obviously you're doing that, right? But there are always things that you can be doing to take steps to be moving towards an ambition or a goal. Okay. Charity, what do you want to do?
I don't know. I guess the one thing is getting married and having kids.
Okay.
But
And since you're the third person who said that, the only reason I'm saying is I'm just reminding you that is a great objective. That is a wonderful objective. But after you get married and have kids, don't stop asking that question. What do I want to do? And here's the intersection where I'm bringing this back. Okay? Because unlike your peers who don't know Jesus, who ask these kind of questions, because they have the same goals and visions, well, maybe they don't have the same goals and visions, but they have that same desire. They have things they want to do, right? But you guys have the unique perspective of realizing that it's not just happenstance that you are alive right now on this earth, on this planet. And it's not just happenstance or by chance that you are who you are. God has made each one of you unique, and He's given you unique gifts, and He's given you unique interests and desires. Don't ever discount that what you are interested in and desiring is somehow like, oh, well, I shouldn't pay any attention to that. Okay, I'm speaking to my class now. See, it's Wednesday. George Washington Carver, how much do you think the things that he wanted to know, the things that he was interested in, the things that he wanted to accomplish, motivated him in life? What do you think? On a scale of 1 to 10, how much was that a motivation in helping him succeed?
Maybe.
Chastity, what do you think?
80?
Yeah, I mean, it's huge. That was a huge motivation for him to do what he did. Now here's the thing. He got to Iowa State. He kind of achieved what he wanted to achieve, right? He got an education. He made it to a position where he was doing everything he loved. But here's the last point. This is where it's like the little linchpin that brings it all together. Where did he end up going? Tuskegee. Why?
Just God called him there.
Because
The door.
basically, paraphrasing his life, he said, God, this is what I am. This is what I want to do. Now, what do you want me to do with it? These are my desires. These are my giftings. These are my interests. Where do you want me to go ahead and plug all this into? And God said, Tuskegee Institute. I mean, he was doing fantastic at Iowa State. He was using his gifts there too, and there was nothing wrong with that. But unlike a non-Christian who would have made the decision, hey, I'm doing what I love to do right here, why am I going to go down there and get paid less and have difficult things? No, God took all those interests and desires and he plugged it in because George Washington Carver was willing to go where God was. So this is what I want you to ask. The second question after you ask is, what do I want to do before I die? You say, Lord, here's what I want to do. Now, how does that fit into what you want me to do? Okay? You with me?
Mm-hmm.
Okay? And you don't have to just ask that once. Like, in the next 5 years, what do you want me to do? You can do that every day. But don't negate the little stuff. Don't, I'm realizing that too. So like, for instance, I told you I want to read all the books in my house. I don't know if I'm ever going to do that. And then I walk back and I see all these books, and I'm like, I did a really good job, like picking all those books out. And there's some really awesome books back there, and I want to read them. But now I break it down to, okay, I'm just going to stick with one book at a time. So as often as I can, I read, 10, 15, 20 minutes before I go to bed. And I'm getting through some books, believe it or not. I listen to a lot of books in my car. So look to see how you can take small steps to an objective. Some of those goals might be smaller than others. Some of them might be bigger. Just if Jeremiah's got a pilot license. You didn't do that in a day, but you took small steps to do it. Prudence, mercy, charity. You always want to be, moms. Wives and moms. It's not going to happen in a day. You're taking steps to prepare to do those sorts of things, and along the way, you're gaining skills that you're going to be able to take with you. Did I ask you, Chastity, what you want to do? What do you want to do, Chastity?
Well, not that big one.
Okay, yeah, and that's my whole point. Like, I'm not saying I want to become president of the United States, or I want to be Florence Nightingale. It could be small, big, whatever. So what do you want to do? What's one thing you want to do?
One thing, I'm not putting it above having a family or something, but I'd really love to get my top secret clearance someday.
There you go. Okay, so have you thought about what do I have to do in order to get a top secret clearance? Don't do anything stupid. That's probably a good start, okay? Chastity's got some incentive. She already has incentive. But you see the point? She's already thinking, well, if I want to get there, then I got to be kind of serious about whatever it is that I'm doing and not, whatever. And like you're trying to do the internship, sorry, whatever it is. And I'm not trying to tell you, okay, and this is what I told the elementary kids, and then I'll be done. When I was a kid, when I was their age, I loved animals. I still love animals. I love going to places like the aquarium or the zoo, or, I just love animals. I love pets. We're working on getting a pet one of these days, even if it is a fish. So I thought, one of the things as a kid that I thought, well, I love animals, so maybe I'd like to be a veterinarian. Maybe I'd be a vet. I'm not a vet. I found out pretty early on that even though I had an interest, my giftings, I'm not a strong math and science person. And if you're getting into medicine, whether you're getting into people medicine or into animal medicine, you have to know some stuff about that. And I'm also not very good with blood. So, hello. I might be better right now. Point is, that's a situation. But here's the thing. God used my love of animals. I raised goats. I raised milk goats. I learned how to train horses. And I worked at a petting farm. All because I loved animals. And those were particular times in my life where God took that interest and I was able to take steps to be able to be available, and I plugged into those things. And I don't know, there's a possibility I might still be able to use that interest as time goes on. My life isn't over, obviously. And then let me tell you, I'll tell you, one other thing I would love to do, I want to record a CD at some point. In some ways to me it's like big, but it's like, I know all I have to do is like actually take some steps to doing it. So it doesn't have to be huge, it doesn't have to be big, but those are the things I always want you guys to be thinking about. Moving forward, doing things, using what God's given you, and not just because I know I'm this way. I just would sometimes rather just sit on the couch and just rather just sit here, not do anything, look at my phone. And these days, it's really hard to feel like you're doing something when you're not. Especially because of all the electronics and stuff. I love someone pointed out, we think we're big, social impactors because we shared something on Facebook. It's like, yeah, nothing wrong with that. But anyway, all right, you guys got me? You good?
Yes, sir.
Good. All right, let me pray for you. Lord, thank you so much for this student council and the things that you've done in and through them this year. I pray that you would bless them as they seek to do a few more things yet before the school year is out. Bless their work in trying to get the fundraiser going at the field day, and then just give wisdom to the senior class as well. Bless each one of them as they set before you the things they want to do. Help them to know that when they delight in you, you give the desires of their hearts as you work in them. Just thank you for them in Jesus' name. Amen. All right, very good. Go ahead and